I must check the computer for my stocks. No, I think not. Kiss me, you fool! I welcome you once more to an exciting day of duels and jousts here on the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Upon which every day, for 100 days, we duel with different decks upon every single day. I am Sir Memphis, noble knight Alan of the Curry Kingdom, and I welcome you once more to another day celebrating the ladies of Yu-Gi-Oh! That being the Waifu Week. I'll have to ask Lord Memphis what that word means tomorrow. This is the second to last day of this, so I should finally ask him, what exactly does that word mean? I don't actually know. Regardless, we shall be playing today a deck that is based around the evil twin monsters, which are vile prostitutes or something. I think Lord Memphis said they were, what was the word he used? They're supposed to be based on Twitch girls. What does that even mean? They have muscle spasms or something? I'm not sure, but regardless, we have ourselves a deck based around these monsters, along with the Sprite monsters, which are some sort of electrical fiends of some form, so they're clearly heretical, so I suppose with the best that we've seen thus far, we must also see the worst of women. Therefore, it is all balanced out. Regardless, we shall be going forth in today's festivities. We shall be showing off the combos and the wombos, what we shall and shall not do, and we shall win ourselves glory for the king. Therefore, if thou wish to know what deck we have today, what cards are in it, that shall be at the end of today's festivities. For now, we shall be boldly striding forth into EDO Pro. We shall be showing off what our deck can do and laying our opponents low. So, of course, do not forget to hit the like it, comment it, and subscription it button in order to join the forces of the Curry Kingdom. And without further ado, my lords and ladies, we'll just join you forth into the field of battle. Well, my lords and ladies, welcome to the first duel of the day. Another day and another joust, as we say. Our deck doth prefer to go first, and so that will be we do. Let's see here. Quite an assortment of cards. We shall summon forth our livetwin, the Leela monster. This is one of the two cards that allows us to start up all of our plays. We shall summon forth the other monster from our decks. These two monsters work in concert with each other in order to summon forth our harlots, which is what we will be doing here. So we shall start forth with the pink one. When thou art going first, you start with the pink one, apparently, but she allows us to draw more cards and the like. And so when she is summoned forth, I might activate her effect to summon forth another monster. And before I forget, I shall be doing something else as well. We shall summon out our Sprite monster. So summon forth the Sprite Blue. For when the Sprite Blue is summoned forth, it might search us another monster. In this particular instance, let me think about how I wish this to go. That would get me another card, indeed. And I could also get mine Sprights, yes. We shall get the Sprite Jet monster in this particular instance. And we shall activate its ability to summon itself to the field. We shall also summon out a disability, yes, of course. So I remember the effect of the Sprite monster. For it will search us another card. In this particular case, let me think. I don't have a Sprite card in my hand. I will have one in my graveyard. This will be the tricky bit. This will be the tricky bit. I suppose I'll add the Sprite Smashes spell. That'll work just fine. So we shall also summon out our Meow Mine, which is an odd little creature. But it's very useful when it is on my graveyard. For now, though, let's continue to stride forth with what we are trying to do here. So summon forth our next monster. We need to summon forth the blue one. Indeed. So summon forth the blue monster, which will revive the pink monster. But essentially what our deck wishes to do is to have both of these monsters upon our board, and so long as one lives, I can summon back the other one. So let's draw forth another card, indeed. And in this case, yes, we shall activate our Sprite Starter spell. I wish to have the one that can stop spells and trap cards. I will take some damage doing this, but it's quite alright. Let's see. I don't have a Sprite card in my... Well, I do now. Indeed. So we shall set our Sprite Smasher spell. And let's see. Should I summon forth anything else? I think it is quite alright here. But just in case, we shall put our Meow Mine into the graveyard by setting 2 of our cards to the grave to summon forth the Muckraker of the Underworld. Simply to have our monster in the grave. For now, that will have to do. It is a decent enough opening for our turn. We're able to summon forth our cards. And let's see, what is this doing? This is the one that lets you summon that obnoxious monster. I shall say nay to that. So we shall send our monster to our graves. And I shall stop your red-eyed fusion spell. I don't trust it. Not at all. Very well, so this is a Red Eyes monster deck. Of course, it's dragons. As a noble knight, one must always be prepared to face off against dragons. Let's see here. This will be quite good indeed. I will be quite prepared for this. Quite prepared indeed. So he shall summon forth his dragons, as he is wont to do. Let's see, you have your Red-Eyed Spirits trap card. And the Full Metal Dragon, I see. You think armoring your dragon like it's a knight will save you? It will not. Not at all. Very well. And thou shalt endeth thine turn. Let's see here. I shall activate mine Sprite Smasher spell. I shall remove mine Sprite Starter from the game, removing one of mine cards, like the Muckraker that I don't really need, and I shall remove this trap card from my opponent's board. Then I shall also activate, let's see, let's remind myself, because it has been a time since I've played this particular card. Where is that? Where is that infernal button that lets me see my graveyard? Where is it? There it is. Let's see. I could return his card to his hand, but I don't think that will be necessary. Not necessarily at this particular junction. Very well, so now it is our turn yet again. Let us boldly stride forth with more cards. Let's see here. Yes, indeed. Let me think about this. I could simply summon forth my strongest creatures. Or I could go for other things. It is a difficult decision here. Difficult decision. So the Red-Eyed Spirit card. That lets you summon forth any Red-Eyed monster. Including this one. So I think the best course of action is to summon forth our strongest monster. Which is the Troubled Sunny. For it is quite a much more powerful creature. And again, we will not use our Meow Mine card just yet. I could, but I don't need to. And in this particular instance, we shall summon forth our Leela monster, simply to have another monster upon our board. As well, let me think, I could summon forth something else. I don't think I really need to. We shall attack our opponent here. Very well. Tally-ho, harlots! Tally-ho! Attack! Do as I command. Very well. So we shall attack our opponent. And yes, he does have this trap card. However, I have my Sprite Carrot monster. So long as I have it, I can negate my opponent's spells and traps once per turn. And that will keep him on the back foot. Very well indeed. Let's see. I suppose he can remove this card to get back his spell. But I will be doing my best to prevent him from doing so, because I really don't want him to do that. Very well, so we shall attack with our livetwin monster yet again. And I can, if I wish to, remove my monster from the board to summon back my other 2 link monsters. I feel that that's a bit premature, though. So let us abstain here. We shall abstain for now. And we shall see what mine opponent may do. We shall see indeed. As I suspected, yes, he shall use his Meteor Dragon. That way, he can search back his Polymerization spell. However, again, so long as I have my Sprite Carrot, it will do him no good, so I'm not entirely sure why he thought that would work. Bit of a mystery there, I shall not allow you to summon forth the Red-Eyed Dragoon monster. It's very powerful, and I don't want to have to deal with it. So very well, this ought to be the end of Duel right here. This is what our harlots are good for, taking my opponent's life points as a regular harlot would do. So let us stride forth and let us attack our opponent, and this ought to be the end of the duel. Bit of a disappointing... Wait. Oh. I seem to have clicked the wrong button. That was my mistake. Not a problem, not a problem. It just means that the duel goes for another turn, that's all. But very well, we shall destroy my opponent's card, we shall draw another card. Well, that was a mistake on my part, however, now we get to see more of the deck. And that is in and of itself a good thing. Very well. You know what, in the fact that my opponent did very little in this duel, I think this is just as fine. Because now we get to see more of what our deck is capable of. That would have been game right there, of course. That would have been the end, but I shall show my opponent some, perhaps undeserved mercy, to be honest. I mean, they haven't actually done anything worthwhile here. Let's see. And my Sunny Monster is in my grave for later. We shall summon forth our sweet twin monster. Let's see. That'd be quite good. Just have another monster upon my board and cards to tribute off to negate my opponent's cards, and we shall end our turn. Very good. Very good. An unintended consequence of, you know, this infernal mouse device. But it is quite alright. My opponent might summon forth another monster, but it will do him very little good. But he might summon forth his mighty dragon, but my monsters are mightier still. Let's see. Let's see, let me double check on this. Attack and defensive with the monster's attack. Indeed, I shall activate the effect of the Sprite Pixies monster. So my monster becomes bigger still than yours. Ha-ha! Did you think that a worthless worm would be able to stop my harlots? My harlots might be scantily clad, and they might be questionable in morality at best. However, they're my harlots, and you can't do anything about them. Also, I activate the Gamma Burst spell, which will make all my monsters rather powerful indeed. So we shall put all of our monsters in attack mode. And I shall use the effect of my Trouble Sunny monster. Send an Evil Twin monster. Yes. So we use our Sunny Day here. To send forth... Doesn't really matter which monster. Because I'll be able to use their abilities regardless. Indeed. We activate this Evil Twin monster's ability to revive our monster regardless. You'll lose the attack points. Not a problem at all. Because now I might use the Meow Mind monster. See, I was saving this for an important event. And I could draw a card, but I don't think it's relevant here. So let's strike our opponent down low as we intended to do a turn ago. And you understand more. This is what our deck is about. The harlots will steal my opponent's life force, as any regular harlot would do, but we do it with style. So let us go forth into the second joust of the day and show off more of what this deck can do. There's still some things it can do. That was a lot of it, but there's still more. Well, my lords and ladies, we're into the second joust of the day. Let us boldly stride forth once more and earn ourselves victory in the name of the king. So let's just see what we have for our opening hand here. Tis an interesting hand indeed. I shall begin my turn by activating the Sunny's Snitch spell. It's quite the competent spell, for when it is activated, I can search out one of my monsters. I shall search for the Sweet monster, because I already have the blue one, and so long as I have the blue or the pink, I can get every card I need. So we shall start forth with our Lila monster, and I shall summon forth the Frost monster. Quite good indeed. That way I can get everything I'd like to have. And let's just also summon forth... We'll summon forth our Carrot monster again. It worked quite well last time. It will work as good again. So we shall summon forth yet another monster. We shall summon forth our Pink monster. As we always do when going first, we search for the Pink monster. And then we will use her ability to go into the blue one. Very good indeed. See, it's a very simplistic package my Harlot monsters are able to do. Of course... As noble knights, we shall not be tempted by them. It is our opponent that shall be fallen to temptation here. So let's summon forth our blue monster, reviving the pink monster once more. I believe what are the names again? This is Kissicle. That's an odd name. And this one is Lila. That's a slightly less obnoxious name, so I'll take it. So summon forth our pink monster and draw ourselves another card. Very good. And I'll summon forth the Mine monster. So I have something to tribute with my Sprite carrot. Let's see, anything else I would like to do here? I could summon forth the treat monster. I'd rather keep that in my hand in case I need it, however, so we shall not be doing that. For now, we shall end our turn and see what my opponent has to offer to us. We have ourselves a respectable board. I have both of mine twin monsters upon mine board. As long as one lives, I might revive the other. I have the ability to negate a spell by removing this mine monster. If my opponent removes mine link, I can use the mine monster to return cards to the hand. Well, what is this? Dinomorphia monster. Let's see. Setting a trap from the deck to the spell trap zone, you say? Fascinating indeed. Very well. Well, I do have the ability to stop your spell trap, so it's not the end of anything here. And your monster is quite small, for that matter. Very well. Very well, you've summoned forth your monster, you've set yourself a trap card. What else? Is there anything else? I imagine there has to be more to this deck than that. Otherwise, why would you bother showing up? Truly. Very well. And so what else we have? Let's see. I was really hoping that they would set a card to their hand, regrettably. Because then my Frost monster would have allowed me to draw another card. It's just another instance of my opponents being disappointing, to be honest. Sometimes I face up against mighty knights. Sometimes it's against dreadful dragons. Sometimes it's against evil wizards. And then other times it's against this gentleman who has summoned forth some sort of a harlot of their own, I suppose, and set a card. What does this card do? Pay half of thine life points to summon a monster from thine extra deck. That's quite the cost to be paying half of your life points, I suppose. But then again, you don't even need all of your life points anyway. So, it's neither here nor there. Although my opponent hasn't done anything, so I'm rather curious as to what they're up to. Rather curious. I would assume that they're going to end their turn. But we shall have to wait and... Oh, there we go. No, he's summoning... Oh. It's quite a few cards, indeed. Very well. Very well indeed. That is quite a few cards they've set upon their board. I had to think about this one. Let's see here. Shall special summon our treat monster. So I have the ability to do so. So start with that and see where this goes. Shall see indeed. So I assume that they're going to use that trap of theirs at some point. Perchance. The question is, what are all these other cards? This might become dogged. I don't like the look of this. 'Tis not what I like to see. I shall summon forth. Let me remind myself. What is the card? Yes, I think this is the way to go about this. I shall summon forth the Ninja Shadow Mosquito. Bit of an odd name for a monster, but that is what we shall summon forth. But it cannot be bested in battle, and I take no damage when it doth battle. It's quite the potent card to attack into my opponent. This will cost me quite a bit. However, I still find that it might be my best option in this particular instance. In this particular instance, I would say this is the best thing we should do here. So summon forth my mosquito. What do you have? Do you have anything? Perhaps? Perhaps not. For now, though, yes. Let us stride forth. I shall attack with my mosquito monster, attempting to deal no damage to my opponent. Let's see. What's the other ability of this thing? Let's see. Detaching material for this card. Opponent gets a hallucination token. I don't really need to do that, but I appreciate the offer. I appreciate the offer indeed. So we shall attack into my opponent's monster, which will then endeth our battle phase, in order to summon forth the double-aid Zeus. This may seem wasteful, however, I need to bait out my opponent's cards, if nothing else. One way or another, I need to do something about what they're trying to do. So we shall activate our Sky Thunder's ability, putting our Meow Mine into the grave. So if my opponent has anything to stop me, this is their opportunity. Let's see. What does this do? Destroy Dinomorphia in a card your opponent controls. Very well. can destroy my cards, that's fine. I'm not going to stop that. And this will summon a well, no, it won't, actually. It shan't. So thou might destroyeth mine cards. However, it's quite fine. I'll lose every card upon mine board, but I can rebuild. That is the operative thing. So let me think on this one. I could summon forth mine sweet monster. I think this will be just fine. It might seem like I cost myself mine own board. However, I cost my opponent quite a bit more. Ah, but you have another card to search forth another monster. Luckily, I prepared for this. I was thinking ahead. So that might summon forth your monster yet again. However, I am quite prepared for you. All I really need is another monster, like one of mine sprite monsters or such. And then I'm right back into business, indeed. So my opponent might deal me a slight blow, but that's about all they're going to get. Anyway. So, you have another trap card. Difficult indeed. Let's see. And I've drawn my Sprite Smashes spell. Normally this would be quite good. However, I don't have any of my Sprite cards. Alright, now things are getting a little dodgy here. Mayhaps I should have summoned out my Sunny Snitch monster when I had the chance. I don't think it'll matter over much. But we'll find out. Because now they're starting to get their traps again. Alright, that's better. We shall summon forth our Leela Suite. And we shall special summon our Sprite Pixies. That way, I can summon forth my next monster. In this particular instance, let's see. Summon forth our evil twin Leela, of course. Let's see. Indeed. We shall summon forth our Leela monster. We shall activate its ability to summon back the pink one. Yes, did you think that you would be safe here? Oh, I suppose... Alright, this is quite fine. Let us return our opponent's face-down card to their hand. We'll force him to play it. Whatever it is, you either play it now or hold it to the next turn. Blast. Well, very well. Well, my Sprite Smashes is prepared for next of turn. That was rather unfortunate there, but my opponent is very low on their life points. I still have another pink one in here somewhere. So, all I need to really draw into is either the blue or the pink main deck monster. And I'll be quite prepared indeed. It'll be a bit closer this second duel indeed. A lot closer than I thought it would possibly be. But 'tis neither here nor there. 'Tis neither here nor there. And I'm prepared to negate one of their cards if need be. I still have at least one more turn. All I need to do is to draw my card. The heart of the card shall be here. Indeed it shall. So we shall summon forth, if I can press the button, we shall summon forth our live twin monster. And once again, summoning a monster from our deck. Unless, of course, you have another one of that trap card to negate my effects. Which would not be good. You had another one. Deceitful wretch. Very well. 'Tis an unfortunate state of affairs now. I need to draw another one. Unfortunately, the one card I was prepared to stop was the wrong card to stop. To see indeed. Perhaps the Sky Thunder was the wrong card to play in the first place. But I still feel that that was the right thing to try to do. Very well. Indeed. We shall activate our secret password. The secret password, of course, is King Karibo Rules, which is less of a secret and more of a fact of life. So we shall activate our secret password spell. And then we'll add ourselves our Sunny Snitch spell. And that'll be quite good indeed. Quite good indeed. So search for our Sunny Snitch. So search for that. Activating our Sunny Snitch spell. That way I can search forth my live twin monster. And by my boy having a third of this card, which is possible, I suppose. Let's see. Trap, trick. I see. That is... of course, getting yourself the trap to summon more fusion monsters, of course, of course. Of course you would. Alright, very well. So, let us search forth the blue one this turn. I think that'll be quite good. And we shall summon forth... Very well. Dinomorphia Frenzy. Summoning forth a fusion monster. Opponent added to card effects. 2,000 life points. What does this monster do? Can I affect monsters that have attack greater or equal to my life points? Well, I suppose I'll activate my impermanence trap then. But if this doesn't work, yes, I need to stop that monster indeed. Shall we summon forth our live twin yet again? Go forth, live twin. Summon forth your twin, so that we might earn ourselves victory. So we shall summon forth our monster. And let's see here. Indeed. What is activated in my graveyard? Let's see. Control monster, summon this card. I could summon back my sweet monster. I don't think I really need to at the moment. But I could be wrong, but I think we're fine. I shall summon forth the pink one once more, the Kiss Kill. And with that, I shall summon forth back. Let's activate the sweet monster's effect. I have a feeling my opponent has something to stop me. But we'll find out in a moment. I shall summon back my sweet monster. Let's see here. Effect that. Did anything stop battle damage? Effect damage. Ah, he doth have such cards indeed. We shall see. We shall see indeed. Why can I not summon forth my blue monster? Let's see. A bit odd. Alright. What else can I summon forth? For some reason, I'm not allowed to summon the monsters I'd like to summon forth. Is it because I activated the sweet monsters effect? Let's see. During the main phase. I'm not sure why I'm not being allowed to summon forth my cards at the moment. I should be able to summon forth my card, let's see. Banish this card. And I'll remove your giant monster from the board. I don't trust it. Okay, there we go. The sweet monster, for some reason, was stopping me from using this effect. But that's quite alright. Let us summon forth our blue monster yet again. And using her ability, I shall destroy one of my opponent's set cards. Very good. So now we've destroyed that. And let's see here. I had no cards to discard. I shall summon forth mine troubled sunny monster, for it is quite powerful indeed. And we shall lay my opponent low. And this time I shall place the right button. Very well, so we shall attack into his monster. Now, he does have his card to stop the battle damage. Regrettably, I can't do anything about that. However, this will summon another monster. Except for itself, you see. Well, but you will be taking 200 damage. Remember, every time thou summon a monster. So really, this duel is over, because the minute you summon another monster, it's my game to win. So I shall use my Troubled Sunny to revive my two Link monsters, who are both stronger than yours. I will get to draw another card. Very good. And we shall attack my opponent's monster. So even if he doth use Diplos to summon another monster, he will lose automatically, because of my Sunny Snitch spell. Very well. You shall summon forth your monster regardless of the efforts. Regardless of the danger you're in, that shall be the end of the duel right here. So very well, my lords and ladies. It was quite a good show, that one. I was actually rather impressed by my opponent's plays there. You know, it was a battle between two different groups of harlots. One does not normally sanction such things, but, here's what it is. Regardless, let us boldly strike forth for our third and final duel of the day. We have summoned forth our monsters quite handedly, and to be honest, there's not much else we can do in this deck, but we are on a bound for 3 duels at the bare minimum. Therefore, into the fray once more, as they say. Very, my lords and ladies, welcome to the third and final joust of the day. It has been a most adventurous sort of event today, for we have summoned forth our monsters quite handedly and annihilated my foe. So, let's see what we are up to here. Let's see here. What does this card do? The Lady of Lamentation, you say? Some sort of demonette. I mean, you can't judge anything else. What else would I call this creature? Do you want me to pretend it's something else? No, it is clearly a demon. It must be smited. Oh, well, so my opponent will set forth one of their trap cards from my deck. I get to pick, which is not ideal, but whatever. Quite whatever indeed. Alright, so... of course. There's demonettes, there must be a dragon as well. For Dark Monsters Tributed, summon this card. Tributed Dark Monster. Very well. Quite indeed. You should tribute it thyself. And what is this doing? One card on the top or the bottom of the deck, you say? I shall place my monster on the bottom. Because I can certainly search it back again. So it's not a big problem. Not a problem at all. Very well. So let us activate our Sunny Snitch spell here. And search back the monster that we just put back into our decks. Haha. Quite good indeed. Quite good indeed. Where is my blue boy? There he is. He shall not be abandoned at the bottom of the deck indeed. So let us summon forth our live twin monster. As soon as my opponent decides upon which they are attempting to do here. I see the Labrynth archetype. I've battled these before. What is this? Is going to summon out your monster. And you'll summon forth the monster that... either the one that searches or the one that is protected. The one that is protected indeed. Very well. One will have to deal with this. So we shall summon forth our live twin monster. And my opponent apparently has many cards to play the minute I try to play anything. But that is because they are a horrible demonette person. Therefore, they have no honor. So we shall summon forth our monster, regardless of what my opponent wishes to do. I shall summon forth my monsters regardless. I see. You play the Impermanence Trap as well. And then this card, which will... let's see. You can set another normal trap card, I see. Quite potent, I will say. Quite potent. Then we'll get the Metaverse trap card to get yourself another field spell. I see. Well, regardless of that, I shall summon out my Spright blue monster. That way, if my evil twins will not be upon the board, I shall simply summon something else. So now let us boldly strike forward. Let's get the carrot monster. Since they're playing all of these, you know, spells and traps and things, I shall summon forth my carrot monster. I shall summon forth my Spright jet as soon as I am allowed. Very well. Summon forth the Spright jet. The Spright jet will activate its ability to search out my spells. What say you to that, sir? You can't play this card right now. You have to play the other one if you wish to play anything at all. And in this particular instance, let me think on this one. I'm not prevented from summoning anything at the moment, so that's good. I'm tempted here, very tempted indeed, using that monster. I need to have at least one Spright monster in the graveyard, but that's not a difficult thing to do. I would like to remove more of my opponent's cards. I shall add the Spright Smashes spell. I think that is the best option here, particularly. Regardless, we shall summon forth. I cannot. I don't have the. I need the pink one, don't I? Yes, that is one problem with this monster. I need the other one. Well, regardless of that, we shall summon forth our Link 2 monster. We shall summon forth the blue one in this case. Since we're going second, going into this is just fine. Now, I won't be able to do anything with it at the moment. However, I have more cards to play. Therefore, yes, we shall use our two monsters here. This may seem wasteful, and to an extent it is, but I shall summon forth the Little Knight. With this, I might remove my opponent's cards from play. In this case, I shall remove their set card from play. But once I remove this card from play, they will be down to only one card on their board. And with that, I'll be able to remove more of my opponent's cards. Let's see. Another impermanence trap card. It's quite alright, I suppose. It's quite alright. I'm not sure why you would negate that card, but you do you, I suppose. Now, in this particular instance, we're going to go ahead and summon forth this monster. The gigantic Spright monster. I can use my Link monster as its material, and its attack will become doubled. Let's see. And now I shall use my Spright's other ability. By removing my material from my monster, I might summon forth another creature. In this particular instance, who would I summon in this particular moment? I suppose the Spright Red will do. It is not the largest creature, but it will do. Let us strike our opponent's monster down. He left it unprotected in all of that. Therefore, I shall smite it. Very good. So we destroy my opponent's monster. And unfortunately, I don't have any... Well, I can't attack directly because of the Little Knight monster, but that's quite alright. Just set two of our... Well, Let us set our spell. I could play it now and remove the Metaverse Trap card, but that feels wasteful to me, so we shall not be doing that. But this is quite good. I have removed my opponent's monsters from play. I have a bigger monster than they do. He has his Metaverse Trap card, of course, but that's quite alright. The minute he plays that field spell, I shall remove it from the board. But if I remember correctly, this spell allows my opponent to... what was it? He can remove my cards. I don't want him to do that. So, that is what we will do here. We shall remove the Layer of Darkness spell. There should be no darkness here, only light, of course. Very good. So, now we have ourselves a situation where I have a big monster, my opponent has no monsters, I have my impermanence trap, and my opponent surrenders, for they are a coward who hides in the darkness. So, very good, my lords and ladies. I think that's a good time to call it for today. A good day of smiting mine opponents. And honestly, we've summoned almost everything in the deck, so there's not much else to see. So let us go forth into the end of screen, and we shall talk more about today's festivities. Verily, my lords and ladies, our Livewire deck of our twins and our sprites has won ourselves 3 victories today. It didn't matter what sort of tricks my opponent had. No deceptions of theirs would cost us a victory today. For we are dueling in the name of God and country. Therefore, my opponents didn't stand much of a chance. So we were able to summon forth every monster we wished to summon forth. We were able to oust our opponents every stratagem and achieve victory. And we can ask for nothing else, for we are not but humble servants of the king. Therefore, our deck works very, very well. So I thank thee once more, my lords and ladies, for joining us for another day of jousts and duels. If that did enjoy, do not forget to hit all of the buttons. Use the keyboard device and press the buttons. It's very important to do so. You must join the Killing Kingdom, for it is the only kingdom worth joining. Regardless, here is today's deck. Take it and duel with it and earn yourselves glory for the king and God above. So for our main deck, we have ourselves a Nibiru monster, 1 of the Ash Blossom monster, 2 copies of the Sprite Pixies, 3 copies of the Sprights Jet, 1 of the Red monster, 3 of the Blue monster, 1 Carrot, 1 copy of the Meow Mine monster, 2 copies of the Pink main deck monster, 1 copy of the Frost monster, 2 of the Blue monster, 1 copy of the Treat monster, and 3 copies of the Sweet monster, along with 1 copy of this fairy creature. We have 1 triple tactical talent card, 2 copies of the secretive password. Remember, the password is King Karibo rules. Very important indeed. And 3 copies of our Sprite starter. Of course, we have ourselves our Called by the Grave, our Sprite's Gamma Burst, our Crossout Designator, our Sprite Smasher spell, 3 copies of the Sunny's Snitch. Remember, do not tell anyone the password, very important. 1 copy of the Lee Lorap spell, which is the only card we didn't get to play today, but it's a one-off card, so you can't always expect to see it. But its additional ability to inflict damage to the opponent. We also have 3 copies of our Infinite Impermanence Trap, quite useful indeed. For our extra deck, we have 1 copy of the Deal monster, which we almost never summon. but it has the ability to draw us more cards. It's just very situational. We have one copy of the Masquerade monster, one of the Muckraker monster, which I'm not sure what a Muckraker is, but she's some sort of devil, therefore I don't care. Anyway, we have 2 copies of the Extra Deck Blue one and 2 of the Extra Deck Pink one. We have 1 copy of the Little Knight, Evil Unicorn monster, 1 copy of the Aku monster, whatever that's supposed to mean. What is that? I have no idea, but it is something. We have ourselves Troubled Sunny at 1. We have our Ninja Mosquito monster, and we have ourselves 2 copies of our Sprite Giant and 1 copy of the Double A Zeus. As for our side of deck, there are other things we can have in our hand to stop my opponent. There are also cards that work when our cards get destroyed. There's also another boss monster that can be summoned forth on our Evil Twins, much more situational, but it is an option indeed. There's also other things like the Live Twins entrance card to summon out more monsters from our deck. We have more copies of the Crossout Designator if we are being assaulted by more cards in the hand. And there's a whole bevy of Evil Twin spell traps, which are very situational, but also we're not playing them today. But you could if you wanted to. So my lords and ladies, thank thee once more for joining us for another day of the 100 Days Yu-Gi-Oh! Tomorrow is the final day of the Waifu Week, and according to Lord Memphis, we are going to be playing a deck centered around some sort of heretical cow goddess creature, which I think is ridiculous, but it's the last day of it, and I will be having a nice long break from these very ridiculous decks for a time, so I will stomach it. Regardless, thank thee once more for joining us for today's festivities, my lords and ladies. And I, Sir Memphis, noble knight and into the Curly Kingdom, shall join thee on the morrow.